used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three!
You've called out the thunder.
Now, get ready.
For the boom! Please.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman.
I think we're getting scammed by a kindergartner.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Quick thinking yesterday with that special talents thing. I feel bad for the guy. Just hope he doesn't get wise.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin, presented by Nebco.
That's right, it is. Welcome into On the Block. Hope you like the new open. Rico and I had some fun putting that one together. It's the last thing Rico did before he left us. May that be his lasting legacy. Well, Rico's just on his way to Louisville right now. He's sitting in East Strick's home airport, Epley Airfield right now, waiting for the plane to take off. Get him to Louisville for the volleyball Final Four. This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, a.k.a. The Grinch, with you.
That'll be me, and a.k.a. There she is.
She's back.
I can't believe it.
Ellie, hi.
Hello.
She's been avoiding us like
No, I have not.
Macaulay McCorkin on, Home Alone. You know what I mean? But she came, at least she came and represented today.
She did.
She didn't come in here with some blue on.
She did not.
She came in here with something special. I like it.
For someone special. Maybe from someone special. Who's to say?
Hey, yo.
Hold on. I'm going to get in the camera. Can you see it?
I'll move
there
over.
There it is.
Move your hair.
Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Zero.
I mean, you know. I mean, you just a little something, you know.
Oh, perfect shot.
Thunderknock Collins says, "Oh, hi, Ellie. How did West Iowa do this weekend?"
Huh?
I don't know. It's just what Thunderknock Collins asked. What do you know about West Iowa?
I don't know a whole lot about West Iowa.
But how did they do this weekend?
I know NWU basketball, and they won this weekend.
Did they beat West Iowa?
Yes, they beat was it Dubuque? It was Dubuque, yes. They beat Dubuque. It was a good game, too.
Hey.
Really good game.
Shout out P-Wolves.
It's a good team.
Yep.
Yep.
All that good stuff. Eric says, pause, Strick. Yeah, let's maybe take Strick's. Yeah, there we go. Thunderknock Collins says, oh, he was, that's funny. He was referring to West Iowa's volleyball team. The one that wears blue up in Omaha that you were repping the last time you were in here.
Oh, yeah.
The one that didn't make it to the Final Four.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately?
I don't know. Unfortunately? I watched that whole game. I don't know. It was a good game, but I was kind of rooting for Creighton.
It was only a good game because Creighton lost. That's why it became a good
and
match.
also, it's the first time I think since 2008 that all of the top seeded teams are in the Final Four.
Indeed. Powerhouses.
Yeah, powerhouses.
Who's your pick to win it right now?
Pitt or Nebraska.
Which one? Which one? What's your pick?
I think it would be beneficial for both teams to win, but I'm
You
going to
you
go
don't
for
say,
Nebraska.
Holly.
I'm going to go with Nebraska just because I've loved watching them this year, and I really hope that they can finish it out. But Pitt's been really, really good. So
They have. Nebraska beat them in the Final Four last year. Speaking of helping Nebraska win, this week is the Together We Win campaign for 1890 Nebraska. 100% of your contribution goes directly to student athletes and NIL. NIL is the name of the game now in retaining and attracting talent to Nebraska, and we need your help. To contribute, text NEBNIL to 801801 or go to 1890nebraska.com. Every dollar counts, and football contributions will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250K. Let's rally together, Husker Nation. Together we win. Again, text NEBNIL 801801 or go to 1890nebraska.com. Campaign will give you till Friday for those dollars to be matched. Stricky, they sent you your NIL check yet? You still waiting?
I wish.
Still waiting?
Still waiting.
Hey.
They gave it a cutoff point, and it's very disappointing that we didn't find ourselves in the mix there. I don't know what's going on.
I always ask people when I'm on my show, like, if you could have like your dream NIL deal. I'm asking both of you, what if you were an athlete and you could work with one company or one organization, what would it be?
Strick?
Affleck!
No, you
Is
wouldn't.
that so? Why is that?
No, you wouldn't.
Why is that?
They're real creative and just creating their little storylines. I think they do a pretty good job of that.
It's because they hired your boy Coach Prime to do commercials,
right?
That's why.
Locally, it definitely locally, probably I would say the railroad or Mutual of Omaha, something like that.
Okay, I see you.
Definitely with anything.
Because you're a runaway train.
No, you know what? Let me change that. Berkshire Hathaway. I need to be in with them. I need to be next to that, hearing everything that's going on the inside.
We have
and leave some. Hey, listen. I know you want to pay me this, but we're gonna leave a little bit of that over there.
And bring some of this over here.
That part. Yeah.
Well, I give my answer. I need you to think about who would play Ellie in a TV series about her life. We were having this conversation earlier. So for me,
Molly Ringwald.
Wait.
Molly Ringwald.
Wait, think about it. I'll give my NIL answer. Then we'll get back.
She's a redhead.
She can dye her hair.
Okay.
I know. We got to go move on.
Sorry.
Go ahead. We'll come back.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
For the exact opposite reason, right? Like,
Wow.
I don't love their commercials. I wouldn't be a good fit for them.
I was going to bring you a drink today, and I was wondering if I was thinking Mountain Dew, but I was doubting myself.
Ouch.
Next time.
Thursday. Hey, Uncle Kev's paying up on Thursday too. He told me, so I'm excited. Won't want to miss that. Yeah, no, it would definitely be Diet Mountain Dew or like Little Debbie. I'm a sucker for snack cakes. Let me tell you, it's tricky. I said the person who would play Ellie in a TV show would be either Anne Hathaway or like a young Julia Roberts.
I see the Anne Hathaway.
Okay. I would say.
No,
I would say what's my girl that played Tomb Raider?
Oh,
Angelina Jolie.
Okay, I see where it's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. You see it.
Or are you saying like Jenna Ortega in the most recent one?
No, the
one.
First
Angelina Jolie.
Not Jenna. I am not Jenna Ortega.
Or
I love Jenna Ortega.
What about Megan Fox?
Oh my gosh, I've said that all the time. I'm like, guys, I'm so Megan Fox. Nobody.
You drinking blood?
Whoa.
Yeah.
You got a man named Machine Gun Kelly?
They're having a baby together, but they recently split.
Her guy's more a sniper than a machine gun. If you get my drift.
I always say, I'm like, guys, I look like Megan Fox. I think Kendall Jenner.
Huh?
You guys don't know who Okay, you know who Kendall Jenner is.
I don't know who she is.
You're joking, right? You don't know who Kendall Jenner is?
Oh, she's that person that dated Devin Booker.
Yeah.
And his game went.
Can't believe
And And well, dang,
call-
we're gonna talk about some curses, man. They might need to be in that, man. I don't know, man. They if
they call
anybody
them
that touched that family allegedly.
Do you guys know the Black Widow? Like things
Natasha
like
Romanoff?
they eat their
like,
boyfriends.
yeah, like no, like
or their
people,
husbands.
like women that date athletes and their game just tanks. They call them Black Widows.
Yeah, because everything dies when they.
Is that Babby Travis Hunter's girl?
Well, there's a lot of conversation out there right now about that discussion. But
we'll save that for another time.
We'll leave that.
We got some Nebraska football transfer portal updates to get to here. Thanks for joining in on the show. We do have some serious stuff to talk about, but we like to have fun in case you're new to the show here. Nebraska adds a portal commit today. East Tennessee State's defensive lineman Jalen George is officially a Husker, signing paperwork today. 6'2", 260-pound player. He can play interior defensive line or most likely the edge here at Nebraska. At East Tennessee State, first team all-conference player. 33 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and half a sack. 23 quarterback pressure is Pro Football Focus grade of 78. Here's the interesting part, Strick. Before entering the portal, according to On3, our friends at Husker Online, George had no connection to Nebraska or its coaching staff. Here's what Jalen George had to say. He said, quote, "They just found me in the portal. Then they saw that I was an all-conference selection. They really liked my film and saw that I made plays." Be curious to know if this was a Terry Braden gold nugget that he found, the diamond in the rough, or if this was someone else on the staff, right? It always used to be Evan Cooper. That was his role, was, hey, who are those under the radar sort of players? Who are the little gold nuggets that we're sifting through to find? I don't think Terry Braden is officially on campus yet. I think he's still working with the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe he's transitioning. I haven't heard a huge update on that, but that's interesting that Nebraska is actually, truly diving deep into the portal, going not just for the name brands or the big schools who are guys that need a second chance. It's who are some of those players that we think can come up, especially on the defensive side. We think about that a lot on the offensive side, right? The Samori Toure type of guys. Interesting to see Nebraska do that again on the defensive side.
Well, we've had these discussions going all the way back, and it seemed like it went off the tracks a little bit for a little while. It looked like Coach Speak was starting to return. But when you see these type of moves, this is a type of move that speaks to what they're trying to accomplish and build here at the University of Nebraska in football, is that they're looking to develop. They're looking to take somebody that's been overlooked, overseen, really do a good valuation. This is going to be a testament as to what type of evaluations that they've done. We've seen that they've missed on some evaluations, a little bit ago, but we're gonna see what this turns out to be and what that development level is going to look like. You've got a sophomore. You've got to see if he's going to like it, how he's going to want to stay, how he's going to want to develop. Does he buy in? We're going to see those types of things. And that's when it comes down to, you really want to find those guys that their whys are different than like the Dowdell's whys potentially. Or
speaking of Dante Dowdell in the transfer portal, Stricky, your reaction to that news today?
Another one. That's what's going on. You've got to really ask the question when you see it multiple times where guys are doing that. What's their reasoning behind that? Now, listen, I'm gonna say that probably what happened is you saw Holgerson come in. There's a change. I personally think that Satterfield liked Dowdell more. Running style probably fit for more of what he was looking for. And Holgerson's style probably of play calling is going to be a little bit different. So we got to see a little glimpse of that. And you have Emmett Johnson looking a little bit more of a fit for that. And I think coming in bowl practice, he probably got a chance to see that, the writing's probably on the wall. And they just touched him up.
Pause.
And that part. And Austin, you and I have went back and forth on this part of it. Is it a leverage move to try to do the same thing that Emmett Johnson did? But the issue then becomes, does Nebraska want to play probably their lead back the same for a backup? So What's your thought about that? Because I think that's probably where the last draw of it was.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Let's just look at the last 3 games, right? With Dana Holgerson in charge of the offense. Emmett Johnson goes 10 for 55 against USC, but also 7 catches for 36 yards. Against Wisconsin, 16 carries, 113 yards, and 6 catches for 85 yards. Then against Iowa, 18 rushes for 71 yards and 6 catches for 25. Compare that with Dante Dowdell, who clearly took a little bit of a backseat. Against USC, 8 for 52 and 2 catches. He had 10 carries for 41 yards against Wisconsin, but did have 3 rushing touchdowns. So Nebraska went to him as kind of the power back there. And then against Iowa, 13 carries for 50 yards. So not a huge split necessarily. Again, it was 10 to 8, 16 to 10, and 18 to 13 in terms of carries, all those bigger numbers in favor of Emmett Johnson. But Strick, Emmett Johnson went in the portal. He came back out. I'm sure he got a little bit more money for it. My sense of the situation is Emmett's thinking, or I can just imagine him thinking, hey, I'm outperforming this guy that you're paying more money. Let me hit the portal. Let's get the financials right. I'll be back, right? No worries necessarily. It doesn't have to be a worry. You can take care of it, so there is no worry. Okay, so that happens. Emmett Johnson's back on campus. Dante Dowdell sees this, and I don't know if this is the case, but it feels like it could be the case. Okay, that's how it's going to be. Let's see how much you want me. You wanted me a lot last year. You said I was your guy last year. Am I still your guy? Pay me to prove it. Here's what you can't afford to do. Pay 2 running backs starter money in the new revenue sharing era, right? Unless you're Ohio State, right? With Quinshon Judkins, the transfer teaming up with Travion Henderson, the returner, right? Not many programs can afford to do that. So I think Nebraska made its commitment to Emmett Johnson. He gets a bit of it seemed like Dante Dowdell, right, had the advantage. He got paid first. He's the guy that Nebraska wants to keep as the starter. Well, Emmett Johnson says, I have something to say about that. Plays well, goes into the portal, gets his money, comes back. I just don't see a path for Dante Dowdell to come back. Like, it'd be a really bad look for Nebraska to, I think, talk to Emmett Johnson, say, yeah, you're the guy we want to commit to, pay him all this money, and then welcome Dante Dowdell back in the fold with the same or equal money, despite knowing that there's a clear preference given, at least through 3 games, for Emmett Johnson to Dante Dowdell. It doesn't seem like the same leverage move. It just seems like, well, you committed to him, so thanks very much. See ya.
There it is. Just like that. Can't do it, man. You got some holes you still need to fill. And so this is why I think going out there, if you're a program right now, the way that it looks, that things are going to be here at Nebraska. You've got to look at guys like Jalen George. You've got to find a few of those, right? We don't even know what our walk-on situation is fully going to be, what that commitment's going to look like. So you don't know if it's going to be an incremental drop or it's going to be a hard line 105. We don't know that. So you really got to be good at and diligent at finding these hidden gems, going out and really doing high level evaluation, and maybe you find an Dominican Sue,
who, to be fair, was a 4-star prospect.
Yeah. I mean, but there was a lot of people that overlooked him, and I think if I remember the story correctly, it was a hard, loyal commitment to him, and not this in and out wishy-washy,
right,
and that's what made him stay. But that's even more important too, is that finding these unsung type of situations. Like they said, they evaluated his film. He said they evaluated his film. They looked at his work. He also was a all conference player. And they say there's possibly some things there. He's only a sophomore. He's going to have a few more years also. But you want to get him to buy in to the long-term plan, not the short-term plan, But anyway, that's what you got to do.
The other portal news that we didn't really get a chance to touch on yesterday when it happened, but I think is still worth bringing up, Strick. Daniel Kalen, obviously in the portal. He commits to Virginia. And then I think it was within a day, maybe it was within 2 days, but very quickly after Daniel Kalen commits to Virginia, the Cavaliers get another quarterback commit, this one by the name of Chandler Morris, and he's an older guy. Started his career at Oklahoma, went to TCU, played last year for North Texas. He's 23 years old, has a year of eligibility left. Stricky, to me, it's even more disappointing seeing Daniel Kalen walk out the door to likely be a backup or still have to compete for the starting job, right? we watched him in the spring game. He didn't look ready necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think being the backup for another year, maybe 2, is the move for Daniel Kaelin.
Mm-hmm.
And jumping to Virginia seemed like he was betting on himself, trying to put himself in position to potentially grab a starting role. But it makes me wonder how much he knew about Virginia's pursuit of other transfer quarterbacks. If the vision for him with Virginia was, hey, we want you, you're a quarterback of the future, but we want you to sit one more year. We're going to bring in this guy, no offense, right? Sit behind him, learn from him, you're a quarterback of the future. Okay, fine. But then how could Nebraska not match that? How could Nebraska not keep him around if he knew he had a good
2
shot to
years
go into the
anyway.
year of going into
Right.
the back as the backup?
Right.
Maybe there's such a difference in Daniel Kaelin's mind of Chandler Morris is only around for 1 more year. He's only got 1 year of eligibility left. Dylan Raiola has 2 or 3 years left, right? Maybe that's the decision for Daniel Kaelin. But in the short term, just looking at next year, either way, it looks like Daniel Kaelin's going to be the backup, whether he was at Nebraska or he was at Virginia. And if he knew that, it's extremely disappointing to me that Nebraska wasn't able to keep him around, keep him in the program. That's a young man whose future I'm pretty excited about.
That's the risk. That's the risk that you take. And we've seen this many a times. Not only the risk of just getting in there and not even having a parallel move, that the majority of those don't come out. They get stuck like that. Did you look that up and see that on you? Was that not crazy?
That's insane, man.
Right?
Insane.
Don't come out, or you go down. You downgrade. You go from an SEC to a
Sun Belt.
Right. You go down. So it's very rare, and that's the risk. I can understand going down to the ACC. I can understand going to Virginia, but like you said, you better have these real in-depth conversations. Don't get stuck on the glitz, the glamour, the whatever the block is. If it's 6th Street in Austin or if it's O Street in Lincoln, don't get locked up on whatever's going on down. You has detailed questions, and you hope that you can then come to the conclusion, because I would hate to see him get in again. And then you get lost in the shuffle, because now you don't got any film, you don't got any, you're on a bunch of hype, and eventually that taters off, because now there's 2 levels of guys that have come in behind you.
Yeah.
And they're looking younger, they're developing, they may have passed you up, maybe not. But that's the risk you're taking. And so I hate that that's the case, but I hope that he overcomes.
Old Dad 34, do you guys think the time of development of a player is over with because of the portal? No, absolutely not, right? It's just going to look different, right? Now player development isn't necessarily going to be, hey, you have a guy in your program for 2 years so he gets in the weight room. His 3rd year he's playing some snaps, maybe as a backup, maybe a rotational guy. Then years 4 and 5, hey, he's a starter developing into an all-conference player. It doesn't look like that, but that doesn't mean development isn't going on. What we will see, I think, Strick, is that the coaches that succeed, the players that succeed, are the ones who are malleable, the ones who are fungible, the ones that can take new information, process quickly, and adapt. I think we're going to see a benefit to players and teams that are more ready for their level, right? That maybe take less time or can take different styles of coaching. Or again, Strick, it's kind of like the guy that takes a 1-year deal in free agency, right? A guy that thinks he knows what his value is. The market may or may not agree. He's just going to take the best deal he can get for now. Some guys will do the 1-year deal. They'll play well and they'll say, yep, I really like it here. I like the system. The other guys will say, nope, I like it here, but I did my 1 year. I'm going to get more money somewhere else. We're going to get out of here. We got the AS.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
It's that special time of year again, with bowl games galore, ugly Christmas sweater parties, and way too much eggnog. And like clockwork, you still haven't bought any gifts yet. Great news! Your procrastination headquarters this year is at Tailored Life in Bennett. Avoid the long lines in Lincoln stores and head down Highway 2 to Bennett. Just a 20-minute drive, and their staff will help you pick out the perfect gift for your mom, wife, or significant other. Procrastination has an answer this year at Tailored Life in Bennett.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
This year, give the gift of delicious food, incredible service, and a lasting memory with the Pillar Restaurant Group gift card. When you purchase a $50 gift card, you receive a $5 bonus card, or purchase a $100 gift card to receive a $20 bonus card. These cards can be used at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, The Butchery, The Bakery, and all Lincoln Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs locations. Available for purchase at any of our concepts or online at prgnebraska.com.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your County Veteran Service Officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and light winds, and high around 46. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a light breeze and a low around 23. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and a high near 38. Meteorologist Kyle Putker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The holiday season is here, and Sartor Heyman is making your shopping easy. Shop our wide selection of necklaces, earrings, or bracelets to our amazing line of watches. Looking for something truly unique? Consider our estate jewelry, or even build your own custom handcrafted piece with our in-house designers. The perfect gift at the perfect price. Christmas memories start with family and Sartor Heyman.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the block. Strick hustling back from the mill.
You know what it is.
What Luke brew for you today, Stricky? The Huge?
The Huge. The Huge from Luke. Yeah, man. The mill.
Check him out. 1040 O Street.
Had to have it.
We're here too. If you wave in the window at us, we have Mill gift cards for you in back. Got them on my desk. So,
strong too.
Ooh, strong. Strong.
Pause. I was about to say something. I had to get ahead of that one. Okay, go ahead. What we got? What we got going on, man?
We're going to go to the text line here real quick, wrap up the discussion we were just having. Thunder Knock Collins said,
"Oh, that's my guy.
It's our guy."
Thunder Knock Collins comes down and hangs with us sometimes in the mill.
It's true.
Yeah.
He says, Danny had to leave. He wasn't going to see the field. Latif in 25, Baby Raiola in 26. He was always going to be competing for second or third string here.
Facts. I see it. I get it. But you liked him. And you thought he could overcome. And I think he could have too. He's a Bellevue West grad. He's got heart.
Yeah, they're bringing in competition.
But they've got
Welcome
guys
to the game.
Exactly.
Welcome
There's
to
going to
the
be a
game.
consistency of that.
Well, if that's what you're saying, oh, they're recruiting over me. Oh, they're recruiting other guys behind me. Guess what? Every program in the country recruits a quarterback per class.
Why did I come to Nebraska with Pike sitting right ahead of me?
To compete.
With 4 freshmen also coming in.
You bet on yourself, didn't you?
Look, I walked in, I'm him. You know what I mean? That's the way you got to feel. Mm-hmm. If you can't get out on the court, on the field, on the tennis, on the golf, I don't even play golf all the time, but when I step up to the tee, I'm him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to hit it where I want it to go and step up and do that. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I'm talking about not playing in months. But you've got to have it. It's got to start here. If your mind has already succumbed to the fact that it's too much competition, then you're not built. You're not built for, for the big time.
Right. You're not even close to built for the big time. If that's what's in Daniel Kaelin's head, is if he's looking to the future and seeing, oh, they brought in TJ Latif, a more mobile guy for the next year's class. Oh, they have Dylan's younger brother coming in the 2026 class. When am I ever going to see the field? That's soft. And I don't think Daniel Kaelin is soft.
No.
On the flip side, if the coaching staff said, hey, Daniel Kaelin, we love you. We appreciate you. We got TJ Latif coming in. We think he brings us a little bit more. Dayton Raiola seems like he's going to be pretty good too. Writing kind of on the wall for you. We'd love to have you stick around, but it won't hurt our feelings if you trade. I don't think Nebraska's coaches did that. What reason would they do that, right? Think about the line that Matt Rule and his coaching staff had to walk to get Daniel Kalen in the fold despite the Dylan Raiola commitment anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment or just rely on recency bias, but Strick, when I look at Dylan Raiola, when I look at TJ Lateef, and when I look at Dayton Raiola, right now, Dylan's the best of them. I would say I would put money on Dylan ending up having the best Nebraska career of any of the three of those guys.
Right.
And Daniel Kalen still committed to Nebraska in the same class as Dylan Raiola. So if he wasn't scared of Dylan, probably wouldn't be scared of TJ Lateef or Dayton Raiola at this point, right? Especially not with the experience that he would have, the years in the system that he would have. So I don't accept that as an excuse. I don't accept Nebraska's coaching staff saying, sorry, we actually like these upcoming backups more than you more. Because guess what? Right now, Nebraska's backup quarterback is Jalen Gramstad. Great. He was a winner at Northwestern in the NAIA level. Great. Cool. Good get for him. Seems like he's been a good mentor for the quarterback room. I would feel a lot more confident with Daniel Kalen as the backup quarterback than Jalen Gramstad, who I don't know if he can even come back next year. I think he's out of eligibility. I think he's done. So again, Daniel Kalen, you had a chance to compete for the starting spot. At the very least, you were the backup. And look, Heinrich Harburg played this year. Dylan Raiola got banged up a little bit. Heinrich Harburg played some significant snaps down the stretch at the end of the year. Granted, in different packages, right? But still, there's a role for a backup quarterback in the modern game of college football, and especially at Nebraska, where quarterbacks don't survive the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like Virginia's not going to recruit quarterbacks either. This coaching staff really liked Daniel Kalen. So to me, Strick, I do think this is a guy that just did the math and said, if I'm going to be the starter at Nebraska, it's probably going to be 2 years. If I'm going to be at the start at Virginia, it's going to be in 1 year. More power to him for making that decision. It just bums me out. I wish Nebraska could have kept him around and sold him on more of the vision here.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of things that we're going to have to start dealing with out of the transfer portal and with the transfer portal and all that it entails. There's definitely going to have to be some discussions that need to be had as to how to make it more efficient, right? I think I've seen people talking about it on the Starter Heyman text line, just some of the inefficiencies of it. And you know, is there a limit? I mean, I guess you can't limit it, but there's got to be some forms of
CAD. Good to see you.
You got to be some forms of penalty or.
But you can't fault a kid for making a choice that they think is best for them if coaches can move with basically no penalty. That's the tough part.
But, okay, you say that, but then there's perversions. Here's what I'm saying. Everybody in some form or fashion in any sport, if they're good, they understand the rules and they figure how they can take you to the brink of the rules. When is that point in football, right? Is it when a person transfers, gets paid, asks for it up front, and then leaves before the semester? Like what are they? So there's no penalties for that. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't want to blow a broad brush. I don't want to blow a broad brush on it, but I'm just saying, like, okay, you said, I looked you in your face sitting in my office. You looked me in my face for the whole year. The whole year,
not the whole season. There's a difference.
Not just the Big Ten or the whole year. You said you're here, and here's what we're going to pay you for. But halfway through, before the championship game, at the end, Las Vegas, UNLV. There's examples out there. Now you bounce, but we didn't pay you.
Right.
So no penalty? Like, so I'm telling you, kids, parents are going to push the limits. You better it is the hardest thing to do is to put the toothpaste back in after you've squirted it out. Pause. Now, here's the other part of it. I told you, Austin, my friend, and you too, Ellie. I told y'all before that I lived in Dallas.
You did.
And
you're very
one
fond
of the things that they do is they'll implement, I don't care if it's a tax, I don't care if it's for the roads, I don't care if it's a project. When you begin that project and the next ones, they ain't taking it back. They're not giving the money back. I can tell you personally from experience, being a divorced husband, you overpay in your support to your child and you overpay. They ain't giving it back.
They don't give you discount on the next payment?
They ain't doing none of that. So I'm just saying, and these are all just examples to explain why you better figure this thing out. Be creative in your thinking of putting in, looking years down the road and figuring out things that can be tested or strained or whatnot. That way you can get ahead of it. Because otherwise, good luck.
Right.
You have no precedent set.
For sure. Right. Huskers P says, doesn't a coach's contract get bought out by the next school? Or doesn't firing coaches, obviously they get paid their buyout too. But here's the thing. Yes, it's technically a penalty, but not enough of one to stop other schools from hiring other coaches. And again, there's a very fine line, because I think in the interest of human thriving and human development and, what's best for these young men and their futures, there is that fine line that no one of us sitting in this room or no one judging from the outside can say is beyond a shadow of a doubt, factually 100%, the best decision for any young man or woman entering the transfer portal. We can give our opinion on it, but we don't know them. We don't know their story. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know if they need to be closer to home or further from home, what their individual room was like, what practices were like, what team chemistry is like. We don't know any of that. So it's not up to us to draw the line. All we can do is talk decently, generally about it is really, really it. We can wish them the best. And, we can try to put in place some common sense guidelines. Problem is there are always exceptions. There are always rules. And I'm with you. Like, we got to find a way to put some of the toothpaste back in the tube, right? You can say, oh, it's out. Sorry, that's where we have to stop. But we also can't necessarily go buy another tube of toothpaste and start over from scratch, right? We have the rules we have. We have the lack of rules that we have as well. And that's just kind of the system that we're operating under. I do want to get to this, Strick, before we play the shootout here to wrap up the hour in just a few minutes. Texas Tech and its athletic director, Kirby Hocutt, and their deputy athletic director, Jonathan Botras, gave a breakdown of how Texas Tech plans to spend its $20.5 million in revenue sharing with athletes. So after the House settlement passes and revenue sharing is on the table for schools, Kirby Hocutt says Texas Tech is going to distribute 74% of the $20.5 million to football, 17 to 18% of the $20.5 million to men's basketball, 2% to women's basketball, 1.9% to baseball, and then smaller percentages to other sports. In the dollar amounts of that $20.5 million, 15.1 to football, 3.6 to men's basketball, and not even $500,000 to all the other sports programs on campus. Fair? Unfair? Makes sense? Doesn't make sense? When you hear those numbers, what goes through your mind?
Well, first off, you're talking about 105 players, so that number is already, just by way of the numbers, is going to be more inflated than any of the other sports, and maybe all of them combined. So basketball at that next level, then you've got to look at I think that could be probably relative to whatever your program history is or situation is or conference is. You got to look at it that Texas Tech plays in probably for basketball, the toughest basketball conference right now.
SEC's past it.
Okay, so SEC, then probably Big 12.
Yeah.
And so there's got to be some competitiveness within that sphere if you want to stay on top there. And then women's basketball, then you would just have to evaluate the numbers and see. you can probably say that number's different at UConn for women's basketball than it is at Texas Tech, who's I haven't heard anything great about their women's basketball program.
Right.
So
softball was the thing. They just signed Najari Kennedy to that big deal.
Right. So there's money out there. So here's the thing. Here's the craziness. You ever played like a game where you had to build your player like either you would get his size.
Oh,
and if he was too bulky, like, okay, there's boxing games, old school boxing games that you used to be able to play. I can't remember any of them. Sauter Heyman text line. I know you guys got them, but here's what I'm saying. You build your guy, and the percentage by way that you build your guy is based on what you're trying to accomplish as a university or a team. So in some instances in the boxing game, I maybe wanted to be heavier so I can take more power and I can give more power, but I'm slower. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Like you would have to pick those percentages and how, or you want a balanced guy where you want it to be balanced all throughout, and some wanted to be more speed and less power, but get knocked out easier. So you have to be really elusive.
Yeah.
Different teams are going to look different by way of this metric.
Yeah.
It's going to be dependent upon what their programs' systems look like, because this may look different. It may be more of a balanced attack at Kentucky now.
Potentially.
Or basketball may, football is always going to be higher, but it may not get to that, that level. It may be 10 million at Kentucky as opposed to, 15.
Well, I think the interesting way to break it down too would be on a per player basis, right? Because like you said, if you just take the raw number of dollars and cents, of course it's going to be higher for football. What other program on campus has 100+ roster spots? None of them.
None.
Right? When you look at basketball on both sides, when you look at, baseball's capping its roster
going to be what,
30,
20, maybe 18.
Texas Tech said 17 to 18%. So,
no, I'm saying how many players? You're talking about like 18, right?
Probably
on
max.
scholarship.
No, basketball now.
Well, probably a couple walk-ons with. So you get 15 scholarships in basketball
I believe
now?
so.
Okay,
so.
and then you usually have about 3 walk-ons.
2-3 walk-ons. Yeah.
So 18.
Okay. That felt high, but yeah. I wonder if we see that go down. I wonder if we see some places do, closer to NBA style. Carry 12, carry 13. NBA can carry up to 15 now with a couple 2 days.
They used to still be able to do it way back then, but they figured out, again, I told you about the rules. They look at the rules and they figure out, how can I usurp this rule or take it right up? So the way that they did it, and this past any probably statutes and all that stuff, the way they used to do it is that they would just basically say you are injured.
Yeah.
They would fake an injury. You would have to sit out and say that you're going through rehab for knee or ankle or something they'd come up with. That would keep you on roster.
Oh, baseball does that all the time. That's how they get guys off the active roster. They put them on the 10-day disabled list. So you have to be there for at least that number of days. You can say you're rehabbing an injury. You're not actually hurt. You're just not playing that well. They give you time to clear your head and whatnot. So yeah, that's still going on in professional sports. So I would be curious to see at the end of the day, on a per player basis, what it breaks down to. Because I think, Strick, if you look at it, sure, football and basketball are driving the revenue, right? Texas Tech said as much. But is it fair to give them more money because they're driving revenue? Or is this in compliance or not in compliance with, say, Title IX, which isn't going away with this revenue sharing sort of thing, right? That's definitely going to have to be taken into account. The other thing that's going to be interesting to monitor for more of these non-revenue programs is Texas Tech also said that it will be eliminating the Alston Awards at the end of the 2024-25 school year. Those are the education-related benefits of up to $5,980 per athlete per school year. The way Texas Tech does it is it makes payments at the end of full semesters to qualified scholarship athletes making satisfactory progress toward a degree that are in good standing on a team and not in the NCAA transfer portal on the last day of final exams. That's been about $1.7 million in awards over the last 3 years for Texas Tech. So again,
how can I
student athletes that we're getting ready for their $6,000 at the end of the year just for going to class, right? They're not going to get that anymore necessarily. And sometimes that's the vast majority of what they would receive for non-scholarship or reduced scholarship programs. That's a big chunk. So having those go away too, is that fair? Is that unfair? Is it just the way of the world? I don't know.
I don't have an answer for that one. That's a tricky one. And it's one that's hard to address because then you can get into the weeds of everything. And look, we've already seen it by way of the way the NBA and their situation is. But here's the crazy thing. Some of the NBA numbers now are starting to look worse than the WNBA numbers. So you might have a case there in some instances. Again, this is what it ultimately comes down to, guys. And this is the one thing that no matter how we look at it, no matter how socially we look at it, no matter how you may feel about it, it comes down to this. You walk into a store, you look at all the products and the ones that you want and the ones that you need. Sometimes the ones that you want, you can forego. The ones that you need, you take another look and you say, is it worth it for me to pay for this one as opposed to that one? It's the value of whatever the product is that you're offering.
Mm-hmm.
How well did you commercialize it? How well did you advertise it? Whatever the work that you did behind the scenes, what differentiates you from them?
Mm-hmm.
And can you make that product glisten and gleam compared to everything else that's out there?
Mm.
It's another reason to why some people may only watch surfing because it's a niche sport for them, but it doesn't have wide appeal because it doesn't appeal to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then others watch soccer, depending on their locale, how they were raised, what they were. Then they're focused on whether it's their country or their team or whatever. Whatever the product is that you're offering. If you're garbage, you can go all around college campuses outside of Nebraska and look at them and say, and I'm serious, outside of Nebraska, I don't know if there's a more loyal fan base, to be honest, and look and say, when their product is garbage, you don't see them stands filled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I can answer that question without trying to dig into all the politics and all that comes with that question.
A few things here real quick on the text line before we play the shootout. Ellison, Illinois. So will the $20.5 million be a cap, or can schools go over that if they want? I believe the $20.5 million will be what schools are allowed to pay their athletes in revenue sharing. Collectives will still be around, but I think most collectives will be shifting their focus to helping schools reach that $20.5 million and not add on top of it. Some collectives
so in essence, to not have it to come out of the budget, as opposed, because if you can build that with the collective, it doesn't have to come out of your internal budget. Is that correct?
I believe so. But if you're a school like Ohio State that's already raised $20 million and you have $20 million to spend,
you can spend 40.
You can spend 40
if you want to.
If you want to, is my understanding of it.
If 20 is your, hey, that's where we at least it doesn't come out of your general fund budget or your athletic department budget.
Right.
It's something that you still are able to keep. Now, you can fill the void if you don't meet those specific goals. Is that what you're saying? Or you can go over and above. Well, God dang it, we're going to 30.
But you can only go over and above from the collective.
From the collective, not from internal.
The school, is my understanding of it. Cigar Guy, the essence of revenue sharing is you're sharing with the sports that provide revenue, whatever that mix looks like for any given school. I understand that, but at the same time, do we want it to be purely economic driven, right? Do we still want a dividing line between college sports and pro sports, right? In pro sports, you get the money that you earn. You do. Do we want that model in college, or do we want all student athletes to be able to, get in on the action while they're here? I don't know. I think it makes a lot of sense to spread it around to all the student athletes to some degree. Obviously, there's going to be a discrepancy. I think that's only right in, this purely economic terms again. I think all student athletes should get something. Is the scholarship enough? It's the same discussions that we've been having all along, though.
So on that question, let's take it to a level to where it's observable, like for everyone that's listening. Here we go. The model that you just said, which one of those models is more capitalism wise?
Mm-hmm.
Which one's more socialist wise?
You what you kill is the capitalist model, right? The football, basketball bring in the most revenue, they get the most percentage of it.
Yeah.
The spread it around model would be the all of them get some.
All of them get something, or the same amount.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they should get the same amount. I'm just saying, just because, gymnastics might not be on TV, they should get nothing.
Oh, yeah.
That's
no
not what I'm
question.
trying to say.
No question.
Right. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out what that line is.
You're saying if we can only pay 2 gymnasts, we should be able to at least have something set aside that all the gymnasts at least get something. Similar to the model that you just said.
Right.
With Texas Tech, all of student athletes get something. If their grades were in order. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And that could vary.
Yeah. Tommy, I get what Texas Tech is doing, but it almost sounds like a Title IX lawsuit waiting to happen. That's the thing we're trying to figure out, right? Is it, or is it Title IX because you're, splitting up the revenue differently? Or is it not because you're distributing whatever money brought in by these programs back to those programs, right? You're not taking it from one, giving to the other. I don't know. Again, this is some of the questions that we all have to figure out. And Texter 1000, appreciate you chiming in as well. We're going to take a quick break. We'll wrap up hour 1 with the shootout with Strick. We need a caller, 402-464-5685. Thanks to Buffalo Wings and Rings for sponsoring the game that we'll play next.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
'Tis the season to raise a little Cane with Raising Cane's. Spread joy with craveable chicken finger meals and treat everyone on your nice list to a Cane's gift card or plush puppy, which benefits local pet organizations. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
This year, give the gift of delicious food, incredible service, and a lasting memory with the Pillar Restaurant Group gift card. When you purchase a $50 gift card, you receive a $5 bonus card, or purchase a $100 gift card to receive a $20 bonus card. These cards can be used at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, The Butchery, The Bakery, and all Lincoln Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs locations. Available for purchase at any of our concepts or online at prgnebraska.com.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
That's right. It is. The game is the Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by my sneeze. Just kidding. Buffalo Wings and Rings, which is absolutely nothing to sneeze at their 2 Lincoln locations. Make sure you go check them out as soon as possible. If you want to win some gift cards, some cash to go eat at Buffalo Wings and Rings, you get 2 chances a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays here during On the Block. 245, 250-ish. A little late today with a good discussion. We're playing the Shootout. Let's bring in Dave on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Dave, how's it going today?
All right, I'm ready for the volleyball questions.
Yeah, I might have to wait till next week for those, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Hold on here, Dave. We'll get Strick his questions, and then we will get to you. All right, Stricky. Yep. 7 days from today is Christmas Eve. NBA Christmas is the topic. Let's see what you know. Your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They've won the most NBA Christmas games of any Eastern Conference team. The Knicks or the Celtics?
Celtics.
It's the Knicks.
You mother sucker!
They've won the fewest NBA Christmas games of any Western Conference team. New Orleans or Memphis?
New Orleans.
It's Memphis. Yeah! They have the best winning percentage of any Eastern Conference team on Christmas. Miami or Washington?
Washington.
Miami. And who did the Dallas Mavericks defeat on Christmas last season?
OKC.
That is
I'm so disappointed in you. I got all those right.
Ellie, you're staring at the answers.
No, I'm not. I was looking over
Staring
here.
at the answers, literally.
I can't.
Ellie would have Googled
I
it.
don't have my glasses on. I can't see that screen. I have no clue what they say, and I was guessing them in my head, and I got all of them right.
I was so second guessing myself every freaking question.
That's brutal, Stricky. Dave, the door could not be more open for you. I know you're not an NBA guy, but the door could not be more open. You get 4 chances to get 1 right for $30 to Wings and Rings. Are you ready for your shot?
I hope I don't choke.
Okay, we'll see here. Your round starts in 3, 2, and 1. They've won the most NBA Christmas games of any Western Conference team. Golden State or Los Angeles?
Let's say Los Angeles.
Yep, they've won the fewest NBA Christmas games of any Eastern Conference team. Toronto or Indiana?
Indiana.
It's Toronto. They have the best winning percentage of any Western Conference team on Christmas. Utah or Portland?
Portland.
It is Portland. And who did the Boston Celtics defeat on Christmas last season?
Toronto Raptors.
Toronto Raptors is the guess. That is incorrect. Ellie, give that man his bumpers. He did it. Dave, a 2-0 NBA win.
That's a spank.
Easy questions you gave him.
Dave, you did it. You won an NBA match. Hold on the line. We'll get you your $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you much.
You are welcome much. Stricky, my man, you went over.
It's unbelievable.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's
Just kidding,
unbelievable
0.
what you did to me today.
What I did to you today. What I did to you today.
It's unbelievable.
What I did to you. Not what you did to you. What I did to you.
What Ellie did.
There we're agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play the tiebreaker just for fun. Stricky, how many current NBA franchises have never played on Christmas Day?
Four.
Stricky says 4. The answer is 1.
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies have played twice on Christmas.
Raptors.
Raptors, I believe, have also played their fair share on Christmas. Let me pull this back up. But no, it is not the Raptors.
No, it can't be Cleveland because when LeBron was there, they made it. Atlanta.
It is not Atlanta.
Utah.
It is not Utah. Utah's been very good on Christmas.
Dang. Not Portland.
I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Clippers.
It is not the Clippers.
Nuggets.
It is not the Nuggets.
Man, I can't do it.
So the Raptors have only played twice on Christmas. They are 0-2. The Timberwolves have played twice. They're 1-1. The Pacers have played 4 times. They are 2-2. The Pelicans have played 4 times. They're 1-3. The Grizzlies have played once in 2022. They lost to Golden State. The only current NBA franchise to not play on Christmas. No, Pelicans are 1-3. The Charlotte Hornets, Stricky.
I knew it.
Did you?
I knew
Did you?
They're going to have to give LaMelo a shine.
They will.
They're going to give it to him.
He's got to stay healthy, though. They got to be better in the 7 seed. Anyways, we're going to go to break. When we get back, does college football need an NIT? Waverly Jim asked us that question. Strick and I will go through whether or not we think college football does need a secondary tournament. Again, an NIT, kind of like college basketball. We'll also get into sports curses in hour 2 of On the Block. Don't go anywhere. Strick, Austin, Ellie with you, brought to you by our friends at NEPCO.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and light winds. And high around 46. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a light breeze and a low around 23. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and a high near 38. Meteorologist Kyle Pudger for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
Early break. He brings him in and teaches him how to be Santa Claus.
But what do you do if like a
16-year-old wants to sit on the lap. What do you do? There's a protocol.
Protocol. What do we do? How do we handle it?
Oh,
not
you
so
stand.
fast.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm going to stand up next to you.
Clause, but not approved. Right.
Bunch of college girls.
Right. No. Oh, becomes no.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3. You've called out the thunder. Now get ready for the boom. Gaze into the face of fear. Booga booga.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman.
I think we're getting scammed by a kindergarten.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com.
Quick thinking yesterday with that special talents thing. I feel bad for the guy. Just hope he doesn't get wise.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin, presented by Nebco.
Welcome in hour 2 of the show. Hope you're starting to get in a festive mood. 1 week from today is Christmas Eve. We will not be here at Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. We'll be celebrating with family. We will be back in time to break down the Nebraska appearance in the Pinstripe Bowl against Boston College on Friday. And then, of course, normal pregame for the game. 11 o'clock kick Central Time on Saturday. I'm Austin. He's Strick. We got Ellie over there on the board. Big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. They're specifically looking for mechanics for their constructors vertical, also general laborers, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. You can visit constructorslincoln.com to learn more about that. Laborers' wages start at $23 and up. 402-464-5685 if you've got any thoughts here on our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Couple things for you here, Stricky. Riley W. says, you're looking like Cooper Kupp out there, Strick.
What is that supposed to mean? That bad?
Cooper Kupp ran like the furthest amount of distance without a single catch in NFL history.
Yeah.
Against the 49ers. And Eric says, got to be honest, I lost a little respect for Strick on that one.
That was all bad. I mean, look, I already told you guys that I have a saltiness for the NBA now. I don't know who's playing on Christmas because I don't watch it. I watch football.
Football is trying to take over Christmas Day now, too.
Yeah, I don't.
Got Chiefs or Raiders, I believe.
Yeah, I don't. So I
No,
couldn't
not
tell
Raiders.
you. I couldn't tell you.
Chiefs Steelers, I think.
Yeah.
Chiefs Texans, one of those. I know it's the Chiefs playing Christmas Day.
I was blessed to play the game, but it's not all that I am. And
that part.
Do we have anything to give away?
Meal gift cards, as always.
Okay, we got a meal gift card. Because if you're a true listener and you're a true blockhead, you will understand this story. Okay. And if you get it right and you're the fifth person, no, let's say fourth person, the fourth person to get it right, then we'll give you a meal gift card ticket. All right. Or pass or whatever they call them. Okay. Here's the story. I've shared with you that the Sanders' oldest kids were my stepkids at one point in time, and Deion Sanders and I used to have conversations. In our conversations, I shared there's something that he had a love for, and there's something that I had a love for And if you can remember what I said to him about my love, then we'll give you a meal gift card. We used to have conversations. I said he loved to hear things from me, and I love to hear things from him. What was my love that I love to hear from him?
402
You remember, right?
I think so. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I hold the mill gift cards. So someone gets it on the text line, we will certainly tell the full story. Breaking news here, Strick, before we get into the college football NIT idea from Waverly Jim on the text line yesterday. Zachariah Branch, receiver and return specialist for USC, as well as his brother Zion Branch, are hitting the transfer portal. Pete Thamwell of ESPN reported this. USC has signed 4 5-stars under Lincoln Riley. All 4 of them have now transferred out in their first 2 years. How about this, Strick? It gets worse for Lincoln Riley. He has signed 12 total 5-stars in his career as a head coach. 9 of them have transferred out of his programs before fulfilling their eligibility. Is that a Lincoln Riley problem, or is that a day and age of college football thing?
You've got to ask the question, what is it about the program that you're not liking? Because it isn't that Lincoln Riley hasn't, coached well, had success. Location does matter sometimes. I think this is why there's multiple reasons why I said Hurley turned down the LA situation, because that's a culture that's a culture shock to a Jersey, New York, far east, the Jersey Shore, that's a absolute culture shock to go. And now I think it's better to coach in the pro level of doing that as opposed to the college level, because then you don't understand how to talk to these young men.
Right.
That you're going to be bumping heads. I mean, you're talking about if you're coaching in college in Cali compared to coaching a Midwestern kid that's baling hay and, worked on the farm and worked in a small community, understands family a little bit different than somebody that's, yeah, dude, we're going surfing tomorrow, or yeah, Venice Beach, and you know what I'm saying, Malibu, and you know what I mean, Rancho Cucamonga. It's a different conversation with Western. I don't care where you are. So I think for Lincoln Riley, man, to be honest, I think Lincoln Riley is experiencing, because it ain't that they ain't got money. USC's got plenty of money. So it's not the money issue. What is it about the culture that he's built or trying to build that they're not feeling? They're not buying in. They're not sold on. Is it his staff? I mean, there's a lot of questions, but it's got to be along those lines. There's something that's just not conveying in that communication with those young men that's getting them to believe or understand, or maybe they're just fickle. You got to think about how fair weather, literally fair weather, that you're dealing with that too. There's fair weather friends and superficial, and there's all that going on in the Western Coast. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
I do think that 9 out of 12 and all 4 at USC is probably a damning ratio for Lincoln Riley. That's probably a little high, even in one of the more fickle days and ages of college football, right? If you lost 5 out of 12, or you lost 2 of the 4 5-stars at USC, for example, okay, unfortunate, but it's kind of a sign of the times. But man, Stricky, 9 out of 12 dating back even to Oklahoma? That's almost too big a trend to ignore. Those are players you do a lot to keep. And sure, recruiting rankings are opinions, right? They're not factual, but they're a pretty darn good guide for talent. And, it's not like people are just making these valuations up out of thin air.
Yeah.
That just happened willy-nilly. So it's not everything. It's not the full and total indictment of Lincoln Riley, but it does make you wonder if Lincoln Riley had gotten USC to the college football playoff. He's been on the doorstep, certainly been hyped as a team and a coach to make the college football playoff. Is it 9 out of 12 and is it all 4 at USC? Or do those numbers fall back in line a little bit? I don't know. But point is, they're gone. They've transferred out. Zachariah Branch is certainly going to be a highly sought after commodity.
I have something, but No one got the answer right, but what I said is, again, we have listeners all over, and some would remember this conversation. I've stated on multiple occasions that Dion and I would sit down and we'd have conversations. I said Dion loves basketball and I love football, so he would want to hear basketball stories from me, and I would want to hear football stories from him. That was the answer to the question. No one got it right, so it's all good.
More milk for us.
That's more milk coffee for us. But here's the thing. So you just spoke about something where you talked about, the play, the levels of play, obviously Caleb Williams and the success that he had. You can run that back to Oklahoma with Kyler Murray as well as Baker Mayfield and
Jalen Hurts even.
Yeah, Jalen. He's had great success with especially those positions and some on skill positions. But I'm going to ask this question because we talked about it beforehand. Travis Hunter wins a whole swath of awards. Right? Tops it off with the Heisman. What does that do where we've seen it not translate on one side? Does it translate on the other? And is this kind of like a test case to see potentially relationship building or culture building compared to the losses, because there's a vacation and they're both kind of West Coast style? Would you use this as a test case? Because now you've got somebody, do you watch and see how they're able to take this and use this as a rocket ship, Elon Musk style into the skies? Or do you kind of use it as an evaluation to see and look around the landscape of what have others done with this type of success in eyes upon you? But for me to do it in 2 years, that's a magnanimous feat. I mean, you put somebody on that level in 2 years.
Yeah.
Does that translate to more coming, wanting to be there? You know what I mean?
It sure doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm interested just to see how that pans out. Like, what does your transfers look like now?
Yeah.
What does what does Lincoln Riley look like after the losing? Can he rebound? What does his season look like? These are the things that I'm thinking about as I weigh these out.
Deion Sanders should always be able to attract top defensive back talent, right? One of the best NFL defensive backs of all time, right? He should always be able to do that, but it's hard to have a relationship with a young man like he did, like Travis Hunter, right? Think about how long Travis Hunter's been connected to the Sanders family. You can't plan that. You don't know how good your kid's 7-year-old friend on his youth football team is going to be. You don't know that. So this really is, I think, a once in a generation story. So now the challenge to me, Strick, is if you can't build up 11, 12, 13, 14 years of history with a young man overnight, how close can you get by doing it overnight? How authentic, how real can you be? What professional experience can you offer them that makes them trust you? And then how do you back up that trust every day? Because Lincoln Riley attracted a lot of top quarterbacks, right? You mentioned what he did with Baker Mayfield, what he did with Kyler Murray, both transfers, by the way, what he did with Jalen Hurts, another transfer, Spencer Rattler, the way he was hyped, right? Yeah, the dude fell off. But think about the hype and the promise that was behind Spencer Rattler. Lincoln Riley built rapport with quarterbacks, continued it at USC with Caleb Williams, got the best out of Miller Moss, the third string that no one ever heard of before, really. Got the best out of him in the bowl game against Louisville, got some decent performances out of him early in the year before tapering off. So I think the temptation would be, how do we recreate Travis Hunter 2.0? How do we identify talent as young as possible, make sure there's a family connection there, and then cultivate it all the way up? Well, not everyone's going to be, a top 5 prospect in their high school class like Travis Hunter. It's just not going to happen. You're going to guess that, this kid's going to be good. Let's stay family friends with him. Seems kind of exploitative, right? To just stick with the kid just because of their talent. And that's not what Deion Sanders did, right? He didn't just stick with Travis Hunter because he saw he was a good player. There's a legitimate personal connection between Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders and his kids, of course. So without the ability to replicate that, you have to get as close to replicating that as you can in what time you have with these young men. You can't sell them a bill of goods. You have to be as authentic and honest and upfront as possible. because that is going to be what's going to attract, in the long term, more and better players to your program, I believe. Yes, there are always going to be ones chasing the bag, wanting the payday, who's offering the highest sum, you name it, I'm in. But players of Travis Hunter's caliber, or even players that might turn out to be better, are the ones that you'll have a connection with, that trust you, that you trust them. You operate on the same wavelength, not you have competing agendas.
Do you, in this instance, Sauter Hemming text line as well? You guys are welcome to join in, 402-464-5685. Because when you take all of this into account, do you consider when you're recruiting, I think recruiting's got to really be more, they got to have more depth to it than just the surface of what they bring, what their measurables are.
What can you do for me? What can I do for you? Got to be more than that.
Yes, right? I think it's got to even go to the tune of who can I allow to be an extended arm of me that I can trust to have these conversations that is totally so. Like, you need to find probably 1 to 2 guys in football, probably 2 guys within a room that have that relatability with players, because you want them to be able to talk, speak, get out, get on social media, and do some of that stuff so that when they get on campus, you know who you can put them with, to where the experience would be a good one for the young men coming in, because the conversations will be there. It's not going to be dry. It's not going to be dull. It's not going to just be sitting there awkwardly looking at each other. You know, there'll be, he's able to interact. He has a form of extrovert with him. You know, I don't know. Do you go that deep now? Do you start looking at things like that as being important? I don't know.
I don't know either. I do think we have a good question from Derek in a car here on the text line. He asks, could Travis Hunter make more money in NIL for 1 more year than a rookie NFL contract with a signing bonus? Derek, appreciate you listening.
Not where he's going.
That part. What is the floor for Travis Hunter? What is the lowest, the latest you think he's getting picked?
I think, well, again, football is so different,
but
man.
What do you think?
No, and I'm gonna give you an answer, but I think it's so different because it's based on the need.
It is.
Right? So somebody may not take a quarterback first because they don't have a need for a quarterback first. They may trade that pick away, but they may not take it. So it's dependent on what the need is. I personally say he doesn't get out of the top 10.
Okay, so let's just say,
I say he's at least 7.
At the very lowest, let's say he goes 10th overall. Total value of his rookie contract would be $23.3 million. Year 1, he's making $4.2 million. Year 2, $5.3. Year 3, $6.3. And year 4, $7.4.
No, he doesn't make that in.
According to On3, his NIL valuation is $5.2 million. But in looking this up, various interviews have been going around, reputable sources, saying Travis Hunter dispersed his NIL money throughout the roster to help Colorado build it. Okay. I need to do more reading on that. Those are just the headlines that
I like the
Deion
mindset
Sanders
himself.
was saying.
I love
Travis
that.
Hunter was, again, I need to confirm that's true, but there are
If
some
that
pretty
happened, I
reputable
love
sources saying that. I will take them at their word. I see it from Bleacher Report. I see it from Athlon. I see it from Sports Illustrated. I see it from CBS Sports. Deion Sanders Jr. was saying that that's how Travis Hunter operates. So, again, if Travis Hunter were to go 10th and his NIL valuation is correct from On3 at 5.2, Travis Hunter would have to be picked no lower than 6th to make more just in year 1 in the NFL than in college football. But why would you risk another year in college football for money that you're giving to the rest of the roster to help build it out instead of going and get your guaranteed money?
And then they have to go build it out.
And then they have to go build it out with money that's already there. For example, if Travis Hunter goes number 1, Strick, $7.6 million. If he goes number 2, 7.3, number 3, 7.1.
I think he could be in the top 5, depending on the need. Like, if you go and run down, all you got to do is see who's looking for some form of secondary help. You don't like, okay, the question then becomes, is he more, I actually don't think he's a straight corner. Initially, I think he's got to get more size. Because straight corners in the NFL got to come up and hit.
Oh, yeah. You get targeted in the run game on the perimeter.
You're going to have to come up and hit. Is he willing to do that? I don't know yet.
Is he even going to play corner, or is he going to be a receiver?
Well, see, that's the thing. I think if he's going to play on the secondary side, I think you use him like Jalen Ramsey type, where he can play safety, he can come down and play a slot guy. You move him around just depending on what the need is there. I think he would be better suited of playing quarterback, but then I also think that would depend on who is the quarterback. So for him, I think you want to look and see who's throwing the ball. Like if he goes to like Pittsburgh, receiver. You got Pickens out there. Pickens is
about to be out of there probably,
right? So I'm just saying like something like that. Yeah, if he goes to Baltimore,
receiver,
because they would definitely need him.
But he ain't going there.
You know what I mean? So you would have to look. You would have to look at where he's going. I think that would be the case in point.
So let's just play this out here. 2025 draft projections from ESPN. Right now, if he goes to the Giants, who just released Daniel Jones, receiver or defensive back?
DB.
New England Patriots, receiver or DB?
DB.
I think he plays receiver for Drake May.
Oh, Drake May's there.
Yeah.
I was thinking Mac was there. No. Okay.
Drake
so
May.
Drake's there. Okay. I could see him playing receiver with Drake.
Carolina.
I would say still receiver because I think their defense is horrible.
Las Vegas.
Receiver.
Jacksonville.
Receiver.
There you go.
Receiver.
And I don't see a cap or a ceiling coming for receiver contracts anytime soon.
No.
Receivers,
they're getting
quarterbacks, obviously, left tackles, defensive ends. That's where the money's at right now. So even if he's a good corner in the NFL, kind of like the Shohei thing, right? Maybe he tries it both ways for a couple of years. They're targeting me in the run game. I'm only a third down kind of situational pass corner only. Maybe they can make that work. I don't know. But Strick, I still think the big money is to be made at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's go to break. When we get back, we will either talk college football, NIT, or sports curses. If you have a preference, let us know. 402-464-5685. Half an hour more of On the Block brought to you by Nebco after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
The holiday season is here, and Sartor Heyman is making your shopping easy. Shop our wide selection of necklaces, earrings, or bracelets to our amazing line of watches. Looking for something truly unique? Consider our estate jewelry, or even build your own custom handcrafted piece with our in-house designers. The perfect gift at the perfect price. Christmas memories start with family and Sartor Heyman.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're talking some more college football here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. I want to remind you that this week is the Together We Win campaign for 1890 Nebraska. 100% of your contribution goes directly to student athletes in name, image, and likeness. That's the name of the game now in retaining and attracting talent to Nebraska, and 1890 Nebraska needs your help. To contribute, text NEBNIL to 801-801 or go to 1890nebraska.com. Every dollar counts, and football contributions get matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. We can rally together, Husker Nation. Together we win. Again, 801-801, text NEBNIL or 1890nebraska.com. Stricky, we wanted to get to this yesterday. We didn't have time because we had some great guests from Lighthouse Lincoln. Hope their event went well, their Christmas shopping event. Bill Mitchner, CEO of Lincoln Lighthouse, brought some of his youth in and heard from them. That was a great time yesterday. But Waverly Jim had an interesting text. Is it time for college football to have its own version of the NIT? Stricky, you're a former NIT champ. That banner's hanging up on the wall at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I see it every time we walk in there. What say you, Mr. NIT?
So let's first caveat the conversation. And the way that it started is because we're talking about how bowl games, people are backing out of bowl games. We talked about Marshall not even playing because of the loss of. So we were having this big discussion, and we were talking about. Austin posed a question: Are there too many bowl games? How do you make them more relevant? We talked about the Pop-Tart, where the trophy you can actually put a Pop-Tart in there and actually toast it, so forth. So we talked about just these cool little ideas, and then who was it? Husker Jim?
Waverly Jim.
Waverly Jim. Then Waverly Jim throws that out there, and I thought it was a pretty relevant question. So he's talking about how do you make the bowl games more interesting? He's thought an NIT for football. Turn the bowl games that are not as relevant now and create a secondary type of football championship. Here's my thing: if you do that, add in like FCS. Put in the FCS champion.
Ooh.
Maybe, I'm trying to think creative. Maybe put in the FCS champion. They get a bye because they're the champion. Obviously, you're going to have more group of fives. You open it up for them. I think you do. I think you've got to open it up for them to also, to fight the lower tiers, because he said 16 teams.
Yeah.
You got 16 teams. I think that's good. I think you take the champion for the swag. They just won. Whoever just won that championship, put them in there. I know it's going to be a lot of extra games.
That's why.
That's the part that's the only part about it. It's going to be a lot more extra games. You're talking what? 4 more extra, 3 more,
at least
3,
at least.
So that's the part that probably would kill that idea. I'm just thinking, outside of all that, how could it work to make it more interesting? I think those would be the ways that you would try to do it if you could. Throw in the FCS champion. Maybe don't have 16 teams, but maybe a couple of games now. So you have the FCS. This is how you can make it interesting. Still have some of your bowl games. Have this little NIT tournament, but make it 4 teams. Put an FCS champion. Put the SWAC champion. Put these smaller, and then have lower, bowl guys in some of the lower conferences. So like
like UNLV,
like the W, right. Like those, a couple of those, and then leave a couple of more as a bye from like a lower tier power, like ACC or Big 12 or WAC or Mountain West. And then put those in there as those buys because of what they did in the season, and then boom, throw about 3 more games. I don't know. That's how I would make it fun, but it would make it intense for those lower tier guys too, because now they're like, hey, we get to shine on a level, win some form of a national championship. So I don't know. That was just my thought. What do you guys think?
Let me just say,
what do you think?
I love the creativity. I ain't rolling. I ain't rolling. I love the creativity. I think it'd be so fun if we could just like design that Madden tournament. I would pay to watch those games. I put it on a streaming service. I'll sit down and I'll watch those games. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it can happen.
Too much.
Right? South Dakota State deserves a shot. North Dakota State, when it was rolling, deserves a shot. Sure. It'd absolutely be fun. But if they have to win their own dang tournament,
and then,
or if we have to rely on creating college football playoff rankings for FCS now too,
well, maybe they just get in it by winning, being the top team in.
But again, how do you decide that objectively? Right? Do you decide it objectively? The way Oregon
they're
was
the 1
number
seed. They're going to be the 1 seed,
right?
So the 1 seed.
But do we have the same ratings? Do we have the same committee that's determining that? Do we use the same numbers? That's what I would be a little hesitant about, because if we don't have the same data available, we got to judge all these teams if they're going into the same playoff the same way. And those teams are always going to come out on the bottom when it comes to strength of schedule. It's just always going to be the case. So they're always going to be the 12th seed, the lowest seed. As much fun as it would be to see them in there, I still don't like that we jumped from 4 to 12. I don't. To me, if we were going to have an NIT style of tournament, Strick, we need 8. We need your 4 power conference champions. And then honestly, I still think give me your 4 power conference champions. Give me your group of 5 highest ranked team, and then you can do 3 wild cards. I would have preferred to stay at 4, but 8, I guess, can work if you do the 3 wild cards. And then the next 8 teams, there's your NIT. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just have 4 down to, or 8 down to 4, down to 2, and then you're champion, right? Just play 2 8-team brackets. One's the NCAA tournament equivalent, one's the NIT equivalent down below it. Someone drew up what it would look like this year if you had a 12-team NIT. Bama as a 1 seed.
Who did it?
I'll send it to you here real quick. Guy by the name of Scott Warner.
It's on X?
It is, yes. I am sending it to you via text here momentarily. Okay, you should have it. Or in the process of being... Anyways, his setup is a 12-team deal. Same thing. Top 4 seeds get buys, play your way through. Bama is the 1 seed in this NIT. Miami is the 2. BYU is the 3. Illinois as the 4. You would have matchups of Missouri and Syracuse in the 8-9, Ole Miss, UNLV in the 5-12, South Carolina, Colorado in the 6-11, and then Iowa State, Army in the 7-10. You rolling?
I like that. I like that second tier better. 8-8. The second half of that version, I think it does enhance. Like, you can create good matchups by just putting them in a bowl game, but in the mindset of a player, they would feel better playing for a championship of some form. You see them? That's why I think this would be even more intense. I would watch every one of those games.
It would be more intense, but would it be too much? Because I would rather just say, okay, if you didn't get into the playoff as we know it, these football brackets, yes, they're fun to watch, but they're so drawn out. Straight, they're so drawn out. That's the beauty of basketball, is you get, a quarter of the team's done on day 1, another quarter of the team's done on day 2, and you're halfway done with the tournament. Half the teams have been eliminated. And then you have a day off, you play again, another quarter of the teams that are left are gone. Very next day, another quarter are gone. You're down to a field that's a quarter of the size that you started with. I think the tournament setup like this works so well for basketball because you can play twice in 3 days. You can't do that in football. You shouldn't be doing that in football. The fact that you can play on Sunday and then turn around again and play on Thursday.
Yeah, because you're talking about 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
For your NCAA tournament in basketball, right?
Well, you're talking about 3 weeks here because you, like you said, you have to play a week.
Right.
You can't play within 3 days or within 2 days.
No.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the college basketball in me showing, but I prefer watching college basketball to watching college football. Would I watch all these games? Yes, obviously I'd pay attention. But man, I just love the pace of March Madness. Having just 3-hour game, 3-hour game, 3-hour game, and they're not overlapping, right? It's 1, 1, 1, 1. At least I can bounce back and forth between basketball games. At least there's multiple things to monitor. I just think the NIT is overkill. I still would rather lean into the, hey, bowl games aren't actually stupid. Let's revalue them. But bowl games, if you want to be revalued, you got to put in some effort. Give us a reason to care. No, it's not for a championship, but guess what? Social media exists. That's how the Pop-Tarts Bowl got big. Social media. That's how the Duke's Mayo Bowl got a following, right? Dumping mayonnaise on the winning head coach. The Cheez-It Bowl, dumping Cheez-Its on someone. Frank Solitz got a bucket of French fries dumped on him for winning the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, right? Stuff like that's fun. Not everything has to be highest stakes, championship this, championship that, money, ratings, yeah. Sometimes we just need something to throw on in the background. Long live bowl season.
Well, there it is. Justin Rogge says on the YouTube stream, he says, I said four tournaments of 4 teams each. Power 4 conference gets a team in each tournament, and it will clear up what conference is stronger. What's your thought?
So essentially, you would be making it into Champions Week that the Big Ten had in the COVID year, right? Where you take Big Ten 1, SEC 1, ACC 1, Big 12 1 and play Team 2 in all those conferences, Team 3 in all those conferences, Team 4 in all those conferences. Yeah, that's interesting. I could see that. But that, to me, is almost better served as a conference challenge early in the season, right? Another thing that college basketball does well. ACC, SEC challenge, Big 12, Big East battle, Big 12, SEC challenge still coming up. Regular season games that matter. They get people invested. You cross-match based on standings the year before. You play them in the regular season. Then you get your open seeding playoff format later in the year. That's what I feel.
Cool.
So
Good question, Justin.
Appreciate it, Justin, on the YouTube stream. Thanks to Starter Heyman Jewelers for that and our text line as well. We got a crossover to get to here real quick before Takedown Tuesday and Teammates Timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to Jay for a few minutes to wrap up On the Block.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, it's been a while since we talked. Hey, what's the latest news at Honda of Lincoln?
It has been a while, Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Happy Honda Days is in full swing, and we have over 200 new Hondas in stock right now, ready for our customers to drive home.
Wow, that's the most you've had in a long time.
It is, Charlie. And we have great lease offers and financing from just 0.9% APR.
Hey, Andy, let me tell them about the pre-owned. They have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, with financing from 3.9% APR available. Incredible deals on new and used during Happy Honda Days, or if you need tires on your current vehicle, Honda of Lincoln is your best choice. Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Davis Plumbing is a locally owned company specializing in a wide range of plumbing services for both commercial and residential customers. Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and has a team of experienced plumbers ready to help you with any project, big or small. Customer satisfaction and peace of mind is their number one priority. So for any commercial or residential project, give Davis Plumbing a call today at 402-525-6922. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
The holiday season is here, and Starter Heyman is making your shopping easy. Shop our wide selection of necklaces, earrings, or bracelets to our amazing line of watches. Looking for something truly unique? Consider our estate jewelry, or even build your own custom handcrafted piece with our in-house designers. The perfect gift at the perfect price. Christmas memories start with family and Starter Heyman.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back one final time here during On the Block. It is the League One Volleyball Omaha crossover sponsored by League One Volleyball. Omaha begins their inaugural season January 24th at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Get your tickets online at lovb.com. See former Huskers Jordan Larson, Justine Wong-Arantes, Maddie Kubik, and Lauren Stivrins in action. Austin, Strick, Ellie, joined by Jay Foreman. Welcome in, Jay.
What up?
Nice to see you. We were just talking some college football NIT. Are you on board with a second tournament? NIT, National Invitation Tournament, second tier tournament for teams that didn't make the college football playoff.
I maybe in the future. I'd like to see how it looks. Is it that they already decided? I mean, I can see that. But I think you do that if you have like the European, like the teams that are on the cusp are getting demoted, and the teams that are getting promoted. Like if you have, you know what I mean? If you have a cutoff, sure. I'd like it there. Get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
How many teams would it be? How many teams would you like to see in it if it happens?
I would like to see the lower 8 of the top league. So you got to really get after it. And then I'd like to see the top 8 from the lower level and see where you're at. And then maybe.
So that's the promotion relegation tournament.
Right. And then you promote. And you know what? I think if you are at the top of the bottom or at top of the bottom top 8, I guess, you'd have to play real bad, maybe point differential, if you're at like, if it's top 60 and you're 52, you shouldn't have to go all the way down to, into deregulated.
Interesting.
I think you got one loss. I think the bottom 4 are essentially got to win 2 games, something like that. I mean, I just think there's ways you could do it to make it somewhat entertaining. But I think they need to really look into changing the rules of the transfer portal NIL before you do anything, because if you don't handle that, then anything else you do from here on out, you won't get a good product and it won't be competitive.
That's one of the things I thought about too, man. It's you've definitely got to,
and I think
show up
I think it's any
or the transfer
portal. Yeah,
I'd more so the transfer portal.
Portal. I think the NIL with if they do become somewhat employees and you have contracts, I think that'll slow things down and then actually will maybe allow collectives to really shine a little bit brighter versus just kind of just holding money and people come and getting it. So I think if you could do something like that, I think it would, I think especially the transfer portal, when you can transfer, obviously I think that the amount of times you can't go back on that, but when you can transfer, obviously you've seen the Penn State backup quarterback transfer and so forth and so on. So you're in the thick of things. And so you got your backup quarterback who actually won the game against Wisconsin, I think, so he played a big factor in this season, is already on the move.
Potentially looking at Iowa and Missouri, a couple teams on his radar.
Well, listen, when Arnold from Oklahoma is getting anywhere, the lowest I heard for him is 1.5. The highest is 2.5. If I'm him, I'm looking at this dude. You got to do what you got to do. A sneaky good get from Missouri was Jeremiah Trotter's youngest son went from West Virginia to Missouri, linebacker. He can find the ball.
Play.
Yeah, he can play. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and pull up that station ID here, Ellie. We'll get that in. You're listening to On the Block. We are here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
To that point of promotion relegation, Jay, Strick, we had this come in right as we were trying to set this conversation up. He said, speaking of schools having money, how long do you think lower tier schools go before they have to start dropping sports, dropping football, or going broke?
Well, I think very shortly, or they'll have to go down a league, or just really drop down their football from, say, Power 4 to FCS. So, if that's possible, unfortunately, the way it goes now, without any regulation, and that's kind of funny. You say this, obviously in the United States of America, there's not much regulation, but it does squeeze out the schools that don't have a huge donor that wants to donate that type of money. I mean, you got to think. Texas Tech is on the come up in the NIL department because actually some former players hit it big in West Texas, and pretty much they hit a couple, oil in West Texas, and so they just have money just flowing in, literally flowing in. If they didn't, they would be on the lower end, and so when they're able to go out and get guys at a higher outbid guys or outbid schools to get quality players, it doesn't level the playing field. It kind of makes it a little bit more topsy-turvy.
One of the last things, and this might be a discussion that goes a little bit further, but I had sent something, and since we're in this part of the conversation, there was a billionaire that was being interviewed.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And he was talking about, actually owning.
Oh, that's going to be the next.
Because at this point, there's nothing. If you give your money to, you don't get any benefit to that.
Yeah, you get to just puff your chest out. But
right.
I think that they
want to get that right off.
Well, you got to think if
investment.
So how many NBA teams are there? 30?
30
teams.
32 NFL, 38 NBA.
Oh, that's right, 30.
Yeah. Okay, so 62. And of course there's baseball and all that. But let's just look at, since we're basketball player and football player. Realistically, because you look at the Buffalo Bills owner, he owns the Sabres and stuff like that. But this 62 billionaires, there's more than that out there, or guys that can get financing, or partners, or groups, right? So these dudes want to find something to do. This is fun to them. This is fun to come down. And let's be honest. College football, no matter what happens, it still will be emotion. So they're hoping and predicting that people will still spend off emotion. Now you're going to see, with that happening, college campuses or college stadiums, and around it was essentially college campuses and around the stadium start to be like NFL and NBA, like Cleveland. Remember when LeBron came and they just built up down there? And then now it's pretty cool down there. I mean, they got, live, a place where you could do live music. They got apartments, they got restaurants and everything like that. That's what you're going to see in a lot of these stadiums, especially the Blue Bloods. Yeah. It's going to be influx of money. They're going to invest in it. They're going to be able to make it back, and I can guarantee you.
And you might even get a Green Bay model where the communities themselves can
you could
get a little touch.
You could do that too, and then guess what?
Yeah.
If you really build it up and you're in a good weather climate, or maybe if you're really at an appealing spot, kind of like Nebraska, shameless plug, you'll get a college football Final Four playoff there instead of going to these bowl sites. Because you got to think, if you build up a place to the point, and you have a plethora of owners that have ownership, they're gonna do it. The first thing that happens in the NFL when somebody buys a stadium or your team, they get a Super Bowl. Good way to pay your money back. Get all your money back. It's a billionaire hustle.
That's why I wanted to throw that in there. I figured you would,
It was interesting, man.
That was interesting. I was like, wait a minute.
And if he's saying
we've been talking about creative ways to try to.
Well, that's something they're talking about too, with the private equity, right? Whether it's the owner or, remember, Florida State was close to taking the Saudi money.
Well, if you want to, if you're a school, I couldn't say Kansas because I know they got some pretty wealthy guys, but just say you're kind of somewhat of a football school, but you're a little bit lower end. Why wouldn't you? If you want to go out there and compete with the big dogs,
like Iowa State,
especially with the 105 and the flooding of good players that are going to be out there.
Yeah.
If you want to jump up there, boy,
invest.
Yeah, invest.
Find that money.
That's why you got to be able to make sure that you have different ideas, and you cannot show up to the party looking the same, if you know what I mean.
You can't think you're a 10 when you're really 4.
The table has got to look a lot different than what it used to.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Indeed. Big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. NEBCOINC.com. If you're a mechanic, a laborer, CDL driver, you can also check out ReadyMixConcrete.com. Either way, it's been a fun show here during On the Block. Big thanks to Strick. See you from Dallas tomorrow, partner?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be on stream. I'll be here. It'll be a good... Oh, no. They're flying around here, too? Where are we? New Jersey?
What?
I don't like it. We're going to go to break when we get back. Take down Tuesdays on the ticket.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with the Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can